What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Zoe, and I make both bookish and lifestyle type videos, and I'm so glad that you are here today. This is going to be a really fun video. As you can tell from the title, I have some pretty fun announcements to share with you guys. Some exciting news on some things I have been working on that I literally cannot wait to tell you about. I also thought it would be just kind of fun to sit down and do a little chatty 2021 goals, what I want to do, what I want to focus on this year. They're going to be both bookish and life goals. So yeah, let's just get into the video. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start it off with a little bit of a bang and tell you guys what the announcement is, tell you guys the things that I've been working on, the things that I'm really excited to share with y'all, and that is that I have started a Patreon and I'm reopening my Etsy shop. Oh my goodness. Okay. I have a lot of goals this year. This kind of ties into this video and I can speak to it a little bit later, but I have a lot of goals this year to really pursue my dreams and the things that I love spending my time on in a way that I never really have before. And really trying to go after what I want, and that is to be able to pursue my art and the things that I love creating full time, which I don't know if that will ever happen, to be honest. I don't really foresee that happening quickly by any means, but I have been brainstorming different ways of how I could achieve that and the things that I could do to get to that point. And one of them is to start a Patreon. If you are not familiar with Patreon, that is okay. Patreon is a website where you can choose as an option, if you want to, support your favorite artists or creators in a little bit of an extra way. For example, my Patreon is going to have 3 tiers. The smallest tier is going to be set at $3 a month, the middle tier will be $10 a month, and the highest tier will be $20 a month. And with each tier comes extra content, extra insight into what I'm working on. I have really fun things planned, like a monthly newsletter with some of my favorite books of the month, books that are coming out, books that I love that I recommend. I have printable art that will be coming out. I have another little book club buddy read. I have extra vlog content that comes with these tiers, so you don't leave empty-handed by any means. Totally optional. If you want to support me, I would love that. It would be an absolute dream. I don't have too high of expectations, but I'm really excited to just try. That's what this year is all about for me. It's just trying new things. It's just seeing what happens, saying that I did it. If I failed, learning from those mistakes. And so if you would like to support me on Patreon, I would absolutely be so grateful. That will be launching on Friday. So the Friday after this video comes out, I will have another video coming out with my January TBR, as well as launch day details of what is involved in all of my Patreon tiers. I'm so excited. I hope that you guys are excited. And even if not, if you just share it, if you just share the excitement and the love with me, that would mean so much. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm really hoping that this is something that is just gonna be a fun way to get to connect with all of you in a much more kind of personal one-on-one way. And I also mentioned that my Etsy shop is being reopened, so probably many of you don't know that I used to have a smaller Etsy shop where I would sell embroidery pieces, and I stopped doing it because I got exhausted, quite frankly. I couldn't keep up with some of the demands of the commission pieces I was being requested to work on, and honestly, I sold them at way too low of a price. I was working on very big pieces for people that I should have been charging double, but I just didn't believe in myself enough and got scared to charge that amount. I think that artists in general struggle with that. So I stopped doing it, and I have recently just been loving doing artsy things again. I've been making embroidery hoops, I've been making fun garland pieces, I want to get into macrame, just really fun things. And so I thought, why the heck not? I would love to share some of those with you guys. Again, completely optional, but that will also be hopefully launching on Friday. I don't know. If it is launching on Friday, we'll only have a couple of pieces, but that is what I also will be working on, and also ties in to my 2021 goals. So with all that said, let's go ahead and talk about my goals this year. I love a new year. I love a fresh year. I am someone who totally buys into the hype of a brand new year, setting goals, aspirations. What do I want to focus on? What do I want to prioritize this year? I love it. I think starting with a brand new fresh year, especially after 2020, is awesome and needed. Obviously, some of the goals I already shared with you guys are to start a Patreon and to also relaunch my Etsy shop. So those are two main ones that I really want to start at the beginning of this year going into it. Honestly, just starting a Patreon and an Etsy shop is a lot of work, and I think that just having those as overarching goals and then seeing where I need to adjust, what I need to do from there is kind of my game plan going into it. So we'll see, who knows. Along with the Etsy shop and the Patreon, I also really want to continue honing in my skill with baking and decorating cookies. As you guys know, I have been having so much fun learning that recently and really just enjoying that all together. And I already actually signed up for a cookie decorating. It's a virtual class in January, and I am so excited. It's on the 12th, and I've just been counting down the days until I get to do it. I'm so excited. We're doing some really, really cute cookies, and I'm hoping to just continue to hone in that skill. I also have a couple of goals around the cookies this year. One of my goals is to successfully ship cookies to someone. So I have a couple people who have so kindly volunteered to receive some of my cookies. So I'm gonna try a couple different ways of how to ship them to make sure that if I do want to sell them down the line, that they arrive safely, they still taste good, they are still intact. The packaging, you know, kept all of them safe and everything like that. So that's one of my goals. And then another one of my goals around the cookies are to sell some, and probably locally at first. And then if I could ship them, to cross that line when we get to it. But yeah, I just would love to continue to work on that, see where it takes me, and if I enjoy even making it sort of a financial hobby, and then going from there. So those are some of my goals around just different hobbies. I also would love to get into photography a little bit more. I did a couple shoots last year for some friends and some family. I still have a lot to learn around that, but I also really do love photography as well. So maybe jump into that as well. I'm kind of a hobbyist, if you can't tell. I just love dabbling in different things and trying different things and learning and failing and growing, all of those good things. So I just want to continue to do that this year. I have really felt like I've gotten to pursue those things more since I've moved back home, and I feel like I'm ready to just continue to take steps towards making those things my possible career. That feels so weird to say. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? I didn't really organize any of these goals. This is, again, pretty chatty. I hope that's okay. Another couple of goals that I have are around like my Instagram and my YouTube channel. Obviously, I would love to grow both of those things. I hesitate quantifying that success or my growth into a number because the numbers aren't always what matters, but it does as well. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys that I don't care about the numbers because I do. Honestly, a stretch goal for me would be to end 2021 with 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is a complete, I could not fathom that many subscribers. This last year for me, as far as YouTube, I had really slow growth. And to be honest, I felt really discouraged by it, and I've had slow growth for the last few months. I don't really know what to do about it or how to change it, and part of me is like, well, is it even worth it? Like, you're doing fine, you're creating things you like. But yeah, I decided to give myself a goal anyway. Why not? It could be cool to come back at the end of the year and see that maybe I hit it. So we will see. As far as Instagram goes, I would love to hit 10K followers on Instagram. That would be such a dream come true. I feel like 10K is such a milestone, and I would be so excited and happy about that. So I think I can do it. That's a little bit less of a stretch goal. So I'm really hoping that I can get there this year in 2021. That would be amazing. Also, with social media, I would love to dabble in doing more Instagram reels / possibly starting a TikTok account. I do enjoy some TikTok. I don't love it, but I feel like it could be really fun to have a presence on there. I don't even know how to do TikTok, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm a little intimidated by even trying to learn how to make one, but I think it could be really fun to have some bookish content on there, or possibly maybe some cookie content. Maybe I would do like videos of making cookies or decorating cookies. So yeah, I'm still exploring options there, but I would love to just learn and see where that takes me. Maybe I'd really enjoy it, maybe I wouldn't. But again, this is the year of trying things. As far as bookish reading goals go, I did set my Goodreads goal. I made it for 50 books in 2021. I would like to read at least 50 books, which I think is completely doable. I've been reading over 50 books for the last about 4 years. I'm a little mad at myself because the last 3 years, 2019 and prior, I had Goodreads goals of 50 books, and I surpassed each year and read over 100. And so last year, 2020, I set my goal to 100 because I was like, well, I'm gonna hit it anyway. I've been doing that for the last few years, and I only read 68. So I'm kind of mad at myself. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not trying to hit a goal of 100. I feel like 50 is absolutely reasonable for me. I also think that I went through a lot of different reading slumps in 2020, so I have a feeling I will definitely hit more than 50, but yeah, just kind of a little salty about that at myself. You guys should let me know if you have a Goodreads goal or just a reading goal in mind. What do you want to read this year? How many books do you want to read? Actually, if you have a reading and a life goal, like for 2021, what are some of your top goals? Tell me one reading goal and one personal/life goal. I would love to hear them. And then also, as far as reading, I don't like to put a ton of goals on my reading because it makes me feel like I enjoy reading less, if that makes any sense at all. I like to put a few reading goals in mind, but I really don't try to box in my reading too much because it just makes it feel less fun. I don't know how else to explain it. I love goals, but as far as making goals towards my reading, it just for some reason makes me feel a little bit anxious around it. So I don't do a lot of reading goals. My one reading goal that I would like to do, but I'm not making it a hard and fast rule, is that I would love to read and explore more of the literary adult fiction genre. I think that I really love that genre. Two of my favorite books of all time, The Dreamers and The Immortalists, are more of like adult literary fiction, and I think that I could really love that genre. So I'd love to dabble more in that and see what I love in that genre and what I don't love, and maybe hone more of a taste for what I know I like in that genre. Like I said, it's a very loose goal, but I'm excited to see what I could explore there. A more like general life and reading goal, they're kind of combined, is to get back in the habit of reading before bed. I used to do this for a couple of years, and then 2020, I mean, all the rules flew out in 2020, but I really fell off the wagon. I ended up listening to more books than I ever have, and I really got out of the habit of physically reading. And while there's nothing wrong with that, I feel no shame about listening to audiobooks over physically reading. I really did not set myself up for success when it came to sleeping at night, and I really got out of the habit of going to bed at a reasonable hour. And I think it had to do with working too late, staring at a screen too late, just in general not slowing my mind and my body down before bed. So one goal that I have is to get into a better sleep schedule, sleep a solid 7 to 8 hours a night, and also read about an hour before bed every night. That is one habit that I used to do, and I absolutely loved it. It was like a ritual for me. I'd make a cup of tea, I'd get into bed before Andrew, I would just like sprawl out on the bed, drink my tea, read my book, and I just had like a really relaxing night right before bed, and I always felt like I slept pretty well when I did that. So those are kind of two habits that I would really love to get back into, is reading before bed and going to sleep at a reasonable hour. No more staying up till midnight and 1 o'clock when I've got work the next day. It just doesn't do well for me or my body or my mind, so that's definitely one thing I want to prioritize. And then I just have a couple of other things that I want to keep top of mind this year. One thing that my husband and I really want to do is to find a home church. We moved back to Wisconsin in June of 2020, and we never got settled at a routine at a home church. Obviously, with COVID being a thing, it was a lot more difficult to connect with a community, to go to a church and find a place to go regularly, because some places you had to sign up, and then when we did sign up, it was like hard to connect with people because, you know, you just like are ushered out one by one out the door, and so it just was tough to like find a home church here. It is something that is definitely top of mind for both of us. We miss being connected to a church, and it's just something that is so important to us to do. So we definitely want to find a home church this year. Start to go back to church every single Sunday. We love church. We are desperate to get connected back into a community. So that's something that we both have on our minds going into this year. And then also with that, I just want to continue my morning routines of waking up and doing a Bible study in the mornings before work. I got into a habit of doing that during December for an Advent study with a couple of people on here, and I loved it. Like, absolutely loved waking up in the morning, cracking open that study, reading the verses, praying, writing things down. It was so great to start off my days like that, and I really want to keep that momentum going. So one of my goals this year is to definitely find a study or a couple different studies that I can continue to do every single morning for 2020. Nope, 2021. And then these last two are kind of just simple and fun ones, but I want to prioritize doing more things that my husband Andrew enjoys doing. He is such an adventurer and like loves going out and doing things. And this last year obviously was super hard for him as someone who is like a person who loves to travel and go out and do things and spend time with people, and he wants to go out and see live music and do all these things that he really couldn't this year. And so as things progressively hopefully get better in 2021, I would love to just be able to do those things with him, even if it's just traveling the two of us to an Airbnb somewhere fun. That's something that I just want to get myself to do. It's not my first thing to go out and travel and do all these fun things, but I know that it's something he loves to do, so it's something that I want to make a priority to do for him and for me. I think getting out of the house would be good for me too. That's kind of, like I said, a very loose goal and a very vague general goal, but it's something that I do want to prioritize as we move into the next year. Okay, well, those are all of my 2021 goals. I'm so excited just talking about all of these things. Like I said, I love a fresh new year with a blank start is what it feels like, really. So I'm excited to move into 2021, try a bunch of new things, to start a Patreon, just to open up my Etsy shop. It sounds so scary. It's so like nerve-wracking but exciting, and I don't care what the outcome is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm at the place where I don't care what happens with it. I just want to try. That's literally where I'm at. Let me just try it. I really hope that your 2021 is better than 2020. I know it was so hard for a lot of us for so many reasons, and I'm really just praying and hoping that as we enter into a new year that we have, and I have, learned a lot from 2020, that I have grown from it, and that I can come out kinder and more empathetic and more loving and a better friend, a better wife, a better daughter, a better family member. Like, I want to be a better person as the years progress. And I know that 2020 was hard, but if there's anything that could have happened coming out of it, is that we are just better for it. I just pray that this year for me and for you is enlightening, and I pray that it's challenging, and I pray that it's full of lessons that we learn from and grow from, and that we can treat people with kindness and love and respect, and be humble enough to know when we've messed up and move forward. I feel like I'm kind of rambling, but I just want all the good things for this year, and I am so excited to see what 2021 brings to all of us. Alrighty, well, with all of that said, I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for watching. Be on the lookout. Next video will be the launch day of my Patreon. I'm so excited. More information coming soon, and my Etsy shop. Hopefully we're crossing our fingers on that one, at least for a couple pieces maybe. And yeah, it's gonna be a good year. I believe it, I feel it. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon in my next video. Bye.